on the roll, the clay's flying, engines blowing full. Side by side, leaning into the fight, chasing that checkered flag at night. We're burning up dirt, kicking up dust, ain't nothing like racing with the rest of us. Big steel, we're tough as nails, one lap closer, bringing trails from green to checkered, all out attack. We're born for the dirt, ain't looking back. Fuel in the veins, working all week just to feel this strain. On the edge, we don't play it safe. Running that wall, we're hitting the brakes. We're burning up dirt, kicking up dust. Ain't nothing like racing with the rest of us. Big steel, we're tough as nails. One lap closer, bringing trails from green to checkered, all out attack. We're born for the dirt, ain't looking back.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We are here at Lernerville again with the AMX Pro 2 Dirt Slingers Series, race number 4 here tonight. The dash is up to $20. They've been passing it on. We got 2 or 3 heat races here tonight, a dash race and a feature. It is going to be wild here tonight. You guys don't want to miss a thing. Looks like Brody at the top of the charts, Dick Nowak, Tyler, Bolson, and Vandenbush, your top 5 right now in practice as we are about to get ready to go into heat race number 1. What's up, everybody? What's up? We got Brock Smith out on the track. We'll go watch him drive off. It is the end of practice. We are going to head into heat race number 1. Let's get them lined up. Who's it gonna be out there? All right, Logan, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Go ahead and pull up the camera angle, and we are going to pull up tonight's starting lineup for, I think we're only going to get 2 heat races. Starting on the pole here tonight in heat race number 1, it is going to be Austin Schreiber. In that number 2 spot, it's going to be Robbie Iverson. Starting inside row number 2, it's going to be Tyler Bickford. Starting in the number 4 spot, it's going to be Taylor Vandenbush. Starting in that number 5 spot, inside row number 3, it's going to be Brock Smith. Outside of him, in the number 25, it's going to be Austin Bolson. Starting inside row number 4 here tonight, in that number 7 spot, it's going to be the 921 of Jeffrey Ives. Outside of him, it's going to be Miles Morris. Then rounding out the field here tonight, he's been the quickest all season long. It's going to be Brody Duscher rounding out the field here in heat race number 1. Everybody's going to make it here tonight. It will be top 3 from each of these heat races going into tonight's consi as they are going to roll off the starting grid. Thank you. Yeah, your first like. Appreciate you. Thank you for the share too. Appreciate that. As we are going to get ready to roll these guys out onto the starting grid. Oh, they got about 30 seconds. Who has not gridded up? Everybody is gridded up. Oh, they changed the grid time. That's why. Logan, thank you for the like. Appreciate that like, guys. Make sure you guys say hello in the chat. Make sure you guys get those likes, shares, and follows out there as we get ready for tonight's main event. How we looking over on YouTube? Starting to roll up into YouTube. Make sure you guys are getting those shares out there. You know, you guys slack over on YouTube. I want to see like buttons. Hit that like button over on YouTube if you like the content. As these guys pull off onto the track as we get ready for heat race number 1. Who's ready for some action here tonight? All right, we are going to get ready for heat race number 1 as they head into turn down the back straightaway. It is going to be 1 lap to go. Patty, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. As they come into turn number 3 and 4, they're going to get 1 to go at the line. Who do you think is going to take heat race number 1? Can Brody drive his way up through the field? We're about to find out, as they get 1 lap to go to green. As they come into turn number 3 and 4, they're going to get 1 to go at the line. Who do you think is going to take heat race number 1? Can Brody drive his way up through the field? We're about to find out as they get 1 lap to go to green. 1 lap to go. 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 1 l Well, you know, we watched the 358s earlier, seen a couple people going off the track. Will it be different here tonight in the Pro 2s? Definitely a different type of vehicle out there as they come out of turn number 2, but I did see him going up and over the edge in a practice. We might see some more of the same here tonight as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Pace truck is going to pull off. When will Austin fire him off? Looking for that green flag out of turn number 4. Green flag is out. A little bit of contact up at the front of the pack. Green flag's out as they come down the front straightaway, down into turn number 1 and 2. Austin going to lead the way as they're 3 wide per second. Oh my God, Bickford going to send it up. He's going to be in the middle of 3 wide. Here comes Vandenbush down low. Vandenbush going to send it into turn number 3 and 4. We got one up and over. Robbie over the edge in turn number 3 and 4. He's going to keep it straight as they come down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Slide job by Bickford for that number 2 spot. Here comes Vandenbush back down low, down the back straightaway, looking for turn number 3 and 4. This is actually a great track for these things as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Vandenbush didn't have enough room to slide up. Bickford going to have the number 2 spot at the line. Austin pulling away from the field as where is Brody? Brody's still back in the number 7 spot, trying to find his way around these guys as we watch the battle for second. Can Vandenbush get back up underneath as they head through turn number 3 and 4? Some of these guys are going to be scared of that top as it looked like Brock might have just about dropped off. He was able to slow it down, but he's going to fall to the back of the pack. Look at this. Brody up to the number 5 spot, making his way forward as they head down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Does he have time to break his way into the top 3? These are Pro 2s. These are Pro 2 trucks. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Austin going to lead the way out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. Bickford trying to reel him in. Vandenbush in 3rd. Bolson in 4th. Bolson looking solid here tonight as Brody is reeling in these guys out of turn number 4. It's going to be 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Looks like it is starting to heat up right around that number 2 spot. Could we end up with some contact? They're actually maybe reeling in the leader as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Bickford has got that thing hooked up. 2 laps to go. They are nose to tail, 1st through 4th into turn number 1 and 2. Oh, Bickford was a little late on entry there. He loses some grind on entry, but gains it back on exit as Austin almost went over the edge through turn number 3 and 4. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. Will Bickford go for the slider in 3 and 4? We're about to find out. He gets a good 1 and 2 out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. Will he move to the bottom? Oh, Vandenbush was up and over. They're going slider out of turn number 4. It's going to be Austin with the win. Bickford second. Vandenbush, Bolson, Duscher, Moore, Morris, Iverson, Ives, and Smith going into tonight's feature. So we got Scriber, Bickford, and Vandenbush all going into the dash, though, as we are going to run heat race number 1. Only 2 heat races here tonight. We are going to go ahead and stack them up. Let me go ahead and get tonight's starting lineup ready. Starting on the pole here tonight in heat race number 1, it's going to be the number 45, Brent Smith. Outside of him in the 110, it's going to be Frank Monack. Starting in the number 3 spot, inside row number 2, it's going to be Solomon with the last name I'm never going to say. Outside of him, it's going to be Jeffrey Latch. Starting inside, row number 3 is going to be Eddie Farnes. Outside of him in the 62, it's going to be Joey Brewer. Then rounding out the field here tonight in the 4th row inside, it's going to be Cody Harrelson with Nick Nowak to his outside. Coming onto the track here for heat race number 2, they got him stacked up. Pack, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. As they pull out on the track, yeah, I would have done the same thing, Solomon. I mean, I do it in the modifieds. I definitely would have done that in a truck. They're going to head for the green flag. I think they're going to get 2 laps of pace in here as Brett Smith and Franklin Monack going to bring them to the green flag. Who's it going to be here in heat race number 2? I think this one's going to be pretty wild. I think the car to watch is going to be one of the cars to watch is going to be Eddie Farnes in that number 21 machine as they come out of turn number 4. They're going to get the 1 to go at the line. There's a couple guys to watch, but Eddie is definitely our dirt oval guy. You got to watch out for him coming up through the field. As we are going to look for the green flag this time by Who's it gonna be? Who is it gonna be? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Oh, they got to tighten it up as they head into turn number 3 and 4. When is Brent going to fire him off? He's waiting for that green, maybe. Green flag is out. He did wait for the green. Monac with a good start on the outside. Smith's going to be down low, but he's going to slide up, take the lead. They're 6 wide in turn number 1 and 2. Frank's going to fall off as Jeff blinked out down the back straightaway looking for turn number 3. So Frank goes off in turn number 1 and 2 at the top of 6 wide. No! Solomon off in turn number 3 and 4. Solomon goes off in turn number 3 and 4. Brett Smith going to lead the way. Here comes Jeffrey and Eddie Farnes up to the number 3 spot. And look at this. Cody Harrelson on the move in the 4K. He's going to make contact with Eddie. He's going to fall back 3 wide for the number 4 spot. Through turn number 3 and 4. Remember, top 3 gets you into the dash. That's an opportunity. These guys, I don't know where their next race is, but this is my last one for the night, Roberts. We did one earlier, and we're doing this one now. Down the back straightaway looking for turn number 3 and 4. Eddie is not looking like he's gaining any ground as they come. Actually, he's in a good spot. Is he? I don't think. No, they don't do an invert in this. Oh, they don't do an invert. I thought they did an invert, but they don't. As they come down the back straightaway looking for turn number 3 and 4. Jeffrey almost off the track as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Going to be 4 laps complete. 4 laps to go as we got one off the track. Who was that off the track? It was Cody off the track in that 4K. Frank is way behind in that 110 after taking his trip off the track. So Jeff is using all the track, and some he goes off in turn number 3 and 4. Oh, the winky step out of Jeff. Winky step off from Jeff as he goes off the track in turn number 3 and 4. That's going to move Eddie up to the number 2 spot. Joey Brewer now into the final dash spot as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4, Brett Smith continues the lead as Eddie sits in second. Kind of quiet now. We're going to see if anybody's going to fall off the edge as Solomon has caught Cody. We got a battle here for the number 6 spot. Both these guys have ended up off the track. Will it happen again as they race each other down the back straightaway looking for turn number 3 and 4? Here comes Solomon down low out of turn number 4. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. 1 more lap for Brett. Here comes Farnes putting the pressure on him. I think he's too far back to do anything as they come down the back straightaway. One last time into turn number 3 and 4. Checkered flag in the air. It's going to be Brett Smith, Eddie Farnes, Joey Brewer, Nick Nowak, Letch, Harrelson, Solomon, and Monac rounding out the field. Monac. All right, we're going to go in the warm-up. We're going to take the top 6 drivers from each of the 3 from each of the heat races, and we are going to run a dash here tonight. Here's my question. What do you guys think? You think they're going to go ahead and tell them to keep it and roll it forward, or will somebody take the cash here tonight? I'm curious. What do you guys think? These guys going to pull out on the track, and we are going to go ahead and get these guys stacked up with the starting lineup. Who is going to win the dash here tonight? All right, here they come off the track. All right, let's see. Brock will be up towards the front. Oh, Austin won the first heat. So we are waiting for Brock. Or is it Brock? No, Brock is not out there. Okay. So starting on the pole, it is going to be Austin in Scriber in that number 45 machine. 47. Outside of him, it's going to be Brett Smith. Starting on the inside of row number 2, it's going to be Tyler Bickford. I think, hold on. Vandenbush is going to be in that number 2 spot in the number 89. Outside of him, it's going to be Eddie Farnes. It's going to be Joey Brewer starting in 5th. I don't know. Okay, I did get it right. I did have it right to start with. My bad. So the second row, it is going to be Tyler Bickford in that number 3 spot. Outside of him, it's going to be Eddie Farnes with Vandenbush in 5th. And Joey Brewer in that number 6th spot, looking for the green flag. We're going to go ahead and shut this off because it's not going to be right. Right? What's up, Steele? Green flag is out as they come out of turn number 4. Austin going to get the lead, but he's got Smith all over the back of him into turn number 1 and 2. This should be a good one as they come out of turn number 2. It's going to be the 47 Austin Scriber out front down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Tyler Bickford in that number 2 spot. He is in the chase mode again against Austin. This is how it was for that whole first heat race. Can he reel him in as they head through turn number 1 and 2? Glenn, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that as they come out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway looking for 3 and 4. Through turn number 3 and 4, Austin going to lead the way. Tyler in second. They're trying to figure it out further back as Farnes trying to race his way up. Here comes Tyler Bickford. Oh, he makes a mistake. Gets wonky into the grass. Here comes Smith down low. Battle looks like it's going to be for second on back as they head through turn number 3 and 4. This could be Austin's race to lose as they come out of turn number 4. 1. Oh, that is it. That is it. I always forget how many laps it is. It's going to be Austin taking the $20 here tonight. We'll find out if he takes that money or not, but he's going to win the dash. MS 40201. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. As these guys going to get a little bit of a warm up, and we are going to get ready for tonight's main event. We're going to go ahead and pull up this so you guys can see what kind of times they're running right now. Jonas, what's up? I seen you just joined. Jonas, what's up, buddy? Guys, make sure you're getting those likes, shares, and follows out there. Let's get some people up in the stream. Let's get some people up in the stream. You know, we are missing a favorite out there here tonight. Where is he? Where is one of the favorites? Greg, where are you? Dino is definitely out there. I saw him join. I don't know where Greg Johnston is. He's usually out here. And he's not even in the chat, I don't think. Greg, are you out there? Greg's been a long-time supporter. He's been a supporter of the channel and this group. And I don't know where he is, and I'm disappointed. As we are going to close in on the end of warm-up pretty quick here. Cody out there has kept it inside the track here in warm-up. Will he be able to keep it that way here tonight? He definitely had some speed. Definitely had some speed here tonight. He's currently 5th on the charts. All right, so they are going to carry over the track state from this point. Miles and Frank did not go ahead and jump on the track for the warm-up. We'll see if what they decide to do with tonight's feature. Let's see. Austin's not in here, so I can't ask him if he's taking the $20 or not. Last week they were in here and they kept passing it on. I said, look, if nobody claims it by the end of the season, does that go to the broadcaster? Austin has passed it on again. So next week is going to be $25 for the dash. So, man, it has been passed on every week. I might have to just race the last one. It definitely does look like fun. I might not be broadcasting the last one if this keeps going because I'm going to go for that money myself. $30, I'll take it. Double it and give it to the next person.
Hey, Frank, do a donation of double it to a charity of his choosing.
Tell him the MDI TV charity.
Why are you spending my money? Because it's better than spending my money.
Is next week the championship?
And I can show you guys a picture of my gas tank.
All right, these guys having a little bit of fun.
The championship.
All right, so those guys having a little bit of fun. We're gonna go ahead and pull up the starting grid for tonight's main event. It is going to be wild here tonight. Let's go ahead and pull it up.
Feel the thunder roll, the clays flying, engines roaring full. Side by side, leading into the fight, chasing that checkered flag at night.
All right, let's get ready for tonight's starting grid. Starting on the pole here tonight, it is going to be Austin Scriber in that number 47. Outside of him in the number 45, it's going to be Brett Smith. Starting inside row number 2 in the 07, it's going to be Tyler Bickford. Starting outside of him in the number 21 machine, it's going to be Eddie Farnes. Starting inside row number 3 in the number 89, just a trim machine, it's going to be Taylor Vandenbush. Outside of him in the number 62, it's going to be Joey Brewer. Starting inside row number 4 in the number 25 machine, it's going to be Austin Bolson. Outside of him in the 145, it's going to be Nick Nowak. Starting inside row number 5 in that number 909 machine, I think is actually what it is, it's going to be Brody Duscher. Outside of him in the 29, it's going to be Jeffrey Latch. Starting inside row number 6 in the number 73 machine, it's going to be Miles Morris. Outside of him in the 4K, it's going to be Cody Harrelson. Then rounding out the rest of the field here tonight, starting in that number 13 spot in the 97, it's going to be Robbie Iverson. Outside of him in the number 91, it's going to be Solomon. Starting inside row number 8 in that number 921, it's going to be Jeffrey Eyes. Outside of him in the 110, it's going to be Frank Monack. Rounding out the field here tonight in the number 46 machine, it's going to be Brett Smith as they head down the back straightaway looking for the green flag this time by. Who's it going to be? 40 laps here tonight looking for that green flag. 17 trucks, one winner on a turn number 4. Green flag is out. Green flag's out as they come down the front straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. Austin going to lead the way. Tyler in second. Taylor trying to race for third. They're 3 wide down the back straightaway. Down into turn number 3 and 4. Still 3 wide. Trying to make it 4 wide for second. Can't quite get there. 3 wide on a turn 4. Eddie and Vandenbush make contact on a turn 4. They keep it straight into 1 and 2. Going to be the 45 of Brett Smith trying to peek in for that number 2 spot. Bickford going to stay in line. I'm telling you what, he's got to be tired of following that number 47. He has done it all night long here so far. Down into turn number 1 and 2, it's going to be Austin continuing to lead battle for that number 3 spot as Farnes is up underneath Brett Smith. Vandenbush is falling back. Let's go take a look and see what is happening further back in the pack. Looks like most of these guys migrating up to that top line as, man, I think I just watched Jeffrey. Was it Jeffrey? No, I think it might have been the 73 of Miles Morris just park it in front of the 25 of Bolson. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. We got a battle for the lead. Here comes Bickford down low. He's tired of following out of turn number 4, but has no choice. He's going to get in line. Here comes Brett Smith down low. Brett going to dig down low through turn number 1 and 2. Can't quite get there. Gets a little wonky out of turn 2. Drag race down the back straightaway looking for 3 and 4. He's going to stay on that quarter panel, try to make Tyler make a mistake. Tyler does not. Out of turn 4 down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. This is a Ashton, thank you for the share. This is a very unique track. It either suits your style or it doesn't. I know I'm not great at this track, but I don't mind running it as they head through turn number 3 and 4. It is going to be 6 laps complete at the line. Farn is trying to find any way he can around Brett Smith. And it looks like it is a very single lane track right now. Nobody really having an advantage as they come down the back straightaway. Super hard to pass as they head into turn number 3 and 4. We'll see if they start using these fenders before the end of this one, as it looked like Austin almost stepped that right rear off the track. That is a real possibility we're going to see here tonight. These guys could very easily step it off anywhere 1 and 2 all the way through turn number 3 and 4, even down the back straightaway. We are probably going to see it quite a few times here tonight as they come out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Bickford starting to put the pressure back on Austin in a 1 and 2. Out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway, looking for turn number 3 and 4. Do we have a battle anywhere on the track? It looks like Brody trying to race his way forward. Vandenbush going to shove it into turn number 3 and 4, almost into the back of Farnes. Down the front straightaway in 1 and 2, you can see Bickford putting the pressure on Scriber out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Fix that, Anger. Fix that. They only got 2 races left anyway after this. Out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway, Austin leads the way. Bickford second, Brett Smith third, Farnes and Vandenbush your top 5 into turn number 1 and 2. Brody, thank you for the share. Appreciate that as they come down the back straightaway looking for turn number 3 and 4. Speaking of Brody's, that is the one we are watching. He's got to be the favorite to win here tonight, but it's been the Austin Scriber show so far here tonight in that number 47. It is really cool. Yeah, it is, definitely. Down the back straightaway looking for 3 and 4. Here comes Bickford. He's going to slide him into turn number 3 and 4. Up the track. Austin Scriber back low. It's going to be Bickford at the line that time by. It is getting crazy behind him. Oh, Smith sideways. He's going to lose a piece of his quarter panel as they come out of turn number 2. Big run for Bickford down the back straightaway. Down into turn number 3 and 4. He's going to slide up the track. Austin going to dive down low out of turn number 4, and they are racing wild for that number 2 spot behind him as they come into turn number 1 and 2. I'll tell you what, that battle for third is pretty wild behind him, but this one for the lead is great as they come down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. He's going to slide up the track. Man, 1.2K likes over on TikTok. That is wild as they come out of turn number 4. Bickford going to lead the way. Here comes Austin back on the bottom side. Bickford was tired of it being the Austin Scriber show, so he's going to dive back up underneath out of turn number 2. Takes the lead back into turn number 3 and 4. As they come out of turn number 4, it's going to be 15 laps complete. What a race at the front of the field. Look who just stepped into the top 5. It is going to be Brody Duscher as the yellow flag comes out for the first time here tonight. Scott, thank you for the share. Appreciate that. Oh, no. He just goes up and over the edge. Oh, Cody almost followed him. Caution flag comes out. Caution flag comes out for the first time here tonight. Truck going off in turn number 3 and 4. I'll tell you what. This track is definitely working for these. This has been a great race here so far tonight. 15 laps in the books, guys. It is going to be 16 complete, and we are going to have 24 laps to go. Mark's Motorsports, thank you for the 4 roses. Appreciate you, bud. Appreciate you. As they come out of turn at number 4, they're going to get the 1 to go. It is a single file restart. It is double. Okay. I guess it is double. All right, looking for the green flag this time by Bickford. Now in that money spot. When's he going to fire off? Smith with a missing quarter panel. It got physical back there for that number 3 spot. I will tell you that right now, and they are looking to go back at it as they come out of turn number 4. Green flag is out. Well, you know what they say, cautions breed cautions, and this track has gotten slicker as Austin going to climb the only wall on the track down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. Going to be 3 wide for a second, a little bit of contact lower as Brett Smith and Douche are going to get together down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Brody going to send it in there, looking for 4th. Here comes Smith back on the outside. Big run on the outside. There is Farnes up on the high side of Duscher. Now here comes the battle we've been waiting for. It's not for the position we expected, but definitely the battle we've been wanting to see. Farnes and Brody down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Oh, no, Smith. Oh, my God. No, my dude, you're off the track. Farnes, get back out there as they come out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Bickford going to lead the way. Vandenbush in second. Here comes Austin. He's going to thread the needle down the back straightaway. Looking for turn number 3. You want in this? There's only 2 more races left, Swank. As they come out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway, looking for turn number 1 and 2. Side by side for that number 2 spot. Bickford's got to love what he's seeing behind him as these guys drag race down the back straightaway, looking for turn number 3 and 4. It is going to be 20 laps to go halfway through as they come across the line. This has been wild as they come down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. I'm going to tell you guys, this has been the best race so far with these things. They are racing great at this track. Oh, Cody's going to have contact back there. They are stacking it up at the back of the pack as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Austin is falling back to that number 4 spot as they come out of turn. I don't know if they're going to let you, is what I'm saying, Swank. You got to hit up AMX. Hit up AMX iRacing. Down the back straightaway. Here comes Vandenbush looking down low. Brody going to dive up underneath. Slides up the track. Here comes Vandenbush back down low out of turn number 4. Down into 1 and 2. Vandenbush going to try to slide. A little bit of contact between Vandenbush and Brody. Brody going to hold strong on the outside. Down the back straightaway looking for 3 and 4. Vandenbush going to come up the track, plays a little defense on that slide, cut down by Brody out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway, looking for turn number 1 and 2. They're going to touch down into 1 and 2. Bickford has a big lead, 1.7 seconds. He needs this thing to stay green. Down the back straightaway, looking for turn number 3 and 4. Bayball thank you for the share as we got a slider out of Brody out of turn number 4. He's going to take the number 2 spot that time by. Here comes Vandenbush back down low. They almost touched through turn number 1 and 2. Vandenbush going to try to get the run off. It's a drag race down the back straightaway. Vandenbush in the position to throw the slider at 3 and 4. He's going to do it. Parks it. No, he stays low as Brody's going to have the advantage. He's going to take the number 2 spot. So clearly Brody back up into the number 2 spot. Vandenbush, you should have thrown the slider. Grow a set. Will Hanger with the 100 stars, or 100 hearts. Appreciate, or whatever the fuck it is. Roses. Appreciate the donation, Hanger. Appreciate that. As they come out of turn number 4, down the front straightaway, yellow flag comes out. Sorry, I got so caught up in the racing that I didn't see you do that, Hanger. Appreciate you. Let's see what happens right here. Ives. Oh, Ives was sideways. Oh, Farnes just gets in him. Ives was sideways, a little wonky there. Caution flag is out here once again. It looks like a blast. This is the best racing I've seen out of these things so far. So we got 25 laps in the books. It's going to be 26 complete when they take the green flag. A 14-lap shootout. And Brody is up to the number 2 spot. He is going to be hard to beat here tonight. But I'll tell you what, Bickford has looked real good in that 0-7. They got him. They're already stacking them up 2 by 2. We should get that one to go this time by. I do know that Farnes is down on pit road. As they head down the front straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. 1 to go. 1 to go. Eddie, get out there. There you are. As we are looking for the green flag this time by. I used to race these all the time with the Pro 4s. Yeah, they're fun. They're fun. I used to run these all weekly on Fridays. I used to host when I first started broadcasting. The Pro 2s, though. Pro 2 lights is what we did. I like the Pro 2s better for oval, though, because they got enough power. And the Pro 2 lights are a little soft. They're a little light on power. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Green flag is out. Oh, caution, caution, caution. Caution, caution, caution. Out on the track. I don't know what happened. All right, I don't know what happened there. Oh, we got a bunch of contact. Let's see. Is that? I think it was just they did not like the start. And there was a lot of contact here. I think that's why they went ahead and threw it off. Oof. All right, so caution flag came out. What are y'all racing? This is our last one of the night. Last one of the night. And the 4s are all-wheel drive, so it's a little, I don't know. All right, we got. Oh, I guess we don't have one to go. Somebody's losing a quarter panel. Oh, shoot. Oh, God. We are one to go as they head into turn number 3 and 4, looking for that green flag. 2 by 2 all the way through the field. It is going to be a 13-lap shootout. We have a ARCA race tomorrow night at 10. Green flag is out. 10 Eastern. Down into turn number 1 and 2. It's going to be Bickford holding on to the lead as he slides in front of Brody. He's going to have his hands full. He did not want to see that caution. Here comes Austin back on the high side. Vandenbush down low through turn number 3 and 4. A little bit of tap as Brody is trying to find his way around the leader. Down the front straightaway into 1 and 2. 12 laps to go. Can Bickford hold on? Here comes Brody down low. Drag race. Brody's going to get a little wonky. It is so hard. These things want to body roll and get wonky as Brody's going to throw the slider and 3 and 4 cut down by Bickford. I can't even talk right now. This is exciting as Bickford's going to take the lead back into turn number 1 and 2. Brody going to get down low. Bickford's going to pinch him down. That helps his run off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Here comes the slide by Brody. Brody going to slide up the track. Bickford back down low. Super patient. Caution flag comes out. Rory, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Oh, no. Did it give him... Yeah, it is. We are not inside 10. We are not inside 10 to go. Oh, man. I just kind of stepped on it there. It has a wall grind. It's not a skateboard, Jeff. It's not a skateboard. It's not within 10. It's not within 10. It's 11 to go. He is 100% right. All right, so we're going to get ready for the green flag as they come down the back straightaway. Bickford leads the way. Brody in second. Vandenbush in third. So it did get Bickford the lead as they come down the back straightaway looking for turn number 3 and 4. It is going to be 10 to go at the line. Green. No. Oh, they delayed it. They delayed it. Why did we delay it? I got all excited. A little premature excitement there, guys. Sorry. Oh, it is getting toxic out there. Failed. Yeah, they threw the caution late because it's supposed to be 2 by 2, I think. Yeah, blooper. Blooper? Definitely a blooper. We'll clip that later, right? A little premature excitement. I don't know if they're going to go 2 by 2 or not, but we are going to get one more lap of pacing. As we are looking for that green flag, single file through the field, down into turn at number 3 and 4. Is this an actual restart? I wish that ticker works when I'm racing, but it doesn't work, the little fucking light. But it does not work when I'm spectating. Right? No, I get it. All right, so they are not going 1 to go, so I'm glad I didn't get overexcited there. All right, looking for the green flag this time by. I don't know. I think somebody's having an issue with the connection as they come down the back straightaway. Going to be Bickford, Brody, Vandenbush, Scriber, and Morse. Your top 5. Who's going to take the win here tonight? It's going to be hard to beat Brody. He's been fast all season long. Out of turn number 4. Green flag is out. Green flag is out. If you are just joining, you are about to see a shootout here. Bickford going to send it into turn number 1 and 2. Here comes Brody. Brody gives him the door. He goes around. No, he stepped on it. I was saying he was going to be hard to beat, but Bickford's going to lead the way through turn number 3 and 4. Bickford leads the way. Vandenbush in second. Scriber and Morris. Joey Brewer now going to move up into that top 5 position as they head through turn number 1 and 2. Yellow flag comes out. Man, I got all excited and then the yellow comes out. All right, let's see what happened to Eddie here. Eddie just stepped off the edge. So common here as they head into turn number 3 and 4. This is going to be a quick one as they come out of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Bickford leads the way down the back straightaway, single file. I'll tell you what, that saved Brody a lot. Out of turn number 4. Looks like they're going to get 1 to go this time. Look at those lights. It is 1 to go. 1 to go as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Who's it going to be here tonight? I'll tell you what, Brody saved by the bell there. He is going to be digging here. Nobody, I don't know if anybody's gotten kicked off the backstretch yet. As they come out of turn number 4, green flag is out. I've seen plenty off of turn 3. We had some earlier, though, in the 358 race as Bickford going to lead the way down into 1 and 2. Brody's going to wind that thing up on the top side. Big run down the back straightaway. Vandenbush going to put the brakes on him. Down into turn number 3 and 4. Brody slides up the track, takes the number 2 position. Yeah, I figured he would. That's what I was saying. I was like, oh, man, because it was going to be a good race between him and Bickford. Here comes Vandenbush. Vandenbush thinks about sliding back up. Almost does. Brody's going to stick his nose, slam that door down the back straightaway, looking for turn number 3 and 4. Oh, it happens a lot on the game. It definitely does. As they come out of turn number 4, Brody up to that number 2 spot. 6 laps to go. Does he have enough time to catch Bickford? I think he can catch him, but can he find his way around him? Down the back straightaway, looking for turn number 3 and 4. Let's see what's going on back here. We got some racing as Bolson and Brewer duke it out into turn number 3 and 4. Oh, man. Brody off the edge, able to get it back out on the track, but he's going to lose 2 spots as Vandenbush back up to second, Austin Scriber up to third. Oh no, Brody makes a big mistake there as they head through turn number 3 and 4. Going to be 4 laps to go. He's going to need a lot of help to get up there here tonight as they head into turn number 1 and 2. Bickford is leading the way out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Vandenbush in second, Austin in third. Here comes Brody in that 909. He has gotten a lot of opportunities here today. He's going to slide up into turn number 3 and 4. Keep it on the track. We got one up on the wall. Yellow flag comes out. That is not what he needed to see right there. Caution flag is out. Oh boy. So it's going to be a 3-lap shootout here. Brett Smith, and I think we got 2 of them off in turn number 3 and 4. Let's go take a look. Eddie's going to jump off, and so does the 97. Oh, and I think Brett Smith went off too. I think we had 3 cars off in turn number 3 and 4. Yeah, it definitely does. Mid-tag didn't run tonight. I don't know why. So, yeah, the one is going to be by Brett Smith, though. But, man, we had 3 cars go off in turn number 3 and 4 that lap. It was Eddie Farnes, Robbie Iverson, and Brett Smith all going off in turn number 3 and 4. We got them lined up single file. Not sure if we're going to go green flag this time by, but Brody back in the number 4 spot. He's going to have 3 laps to try and make it to the lead. This might be too much to overcome as they come out of turn number 4. Green flag is out. Yeah, it could be. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Going to be Bickford down into 1 and 2. Vandenbush on the outside. Austin down low. Here comes Brody to the outside. Down the back straightaway, looking for turn number 3 and 4. What's up, Brian? I always appreciate you coming out, Brian. Definitely. As they come out of turn number 4, Brody now up to the number 3 spot. Down the front straightaway into turn number 1 and 2. Going to be Bickford leading the way. Vandenbush in second. 2 laps to go. 1 more car between Brody and the lead, but I don't know if he's going to have enough time to get there as they get 1 lap to go out of turn number 4. 1 lap out of turn number 4. White flag is out. Down into 1 and 2. Can Brody get to that number 2 spot? He's going to try to dig up to the top. Vandenbush down low. Vandenbush going to come off the track. Puts the brakes on. Tries to put a block on. They're down the back straightaway. They touch into turn number 3 and 4. Vandenbush almost goes around. It's going to be Bickford who's going to get second. Vandenbush in second. Duscher in third. Scriber and Morris your top 5. Yeah, it happens. It happens. It happens. I'm not too worried about it, Demon. Oh my God, that was wild. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull up those results and we will pull in those top three. It is a point series. It's a point series with the same cars, but different tracks. These guys run Tuesday nights, 9:30 Eastern time is when their start time is, and they run a different track each week. Yes, it is points, though. Same drivers, too. It is going to be Tyler Bickford with the win here tonight. Vandenbush in second. Brody in third. Going to be Austin in the number 4 spot. Miles Morris in fifth. Austin Bolson in seventh. Going to be Brock Smith in that number 8 spot. Nick Nowak in ninth. Frank Monick in 10th. Going to be Jeff Ives in that number 11 spot. Brewer in 12th. Iverson 13th. Farnes 14th. Harrelson 15th. Smith in 16th. And Solomon in that number 17 spot. Let's go ahead and bring in those top three. That was a great race. I'm telling you, that was probably the best one so far. I don't know if you guys are going to agree with me, but man, that was the best racing we have seen out of these things so far. What a race here tonight. Brody, I know it's not the finish you wanted. You stopped off a few times, but able to pick yourself back up into the top three. I know you wanted more, but you got to be happy after those mistakes, still picking up third.
Yeah, I'll take it to stay in the points for sure, and then I couldn't ask for a better podium. Taylor and Bickford, I'm very happy for Bickford. Yeah, it's just two big mistakes. Getting into Bickford when I went for the pass, and then flying off the top by myself. But then the rebound, I was able to rebound. I was very, very fast. I felt like I probably could have hung with Bickford, but he's way too consistent, and that was an awesome finish with Taylor, and it was a lot of fun.
That was a great finish. They were saying that in the chat. They said, what a race for second. Man, you had to race your way up through a few times. I know you didn't get what you had to start last, I think, in your heat race. Couldn't quite make your way up. It was hard finding places to pass. It was super hard to pass until this track started to slick it out. And man, when this thing got slick, you guys were racing at different lines. Just looked like the hardest spot on the track was coming out of turn number 1 and 2 down on the bottom. And that's where you really had to pass if you're going to make that pass.
Yeah, no, it was weird. It was very difficult to in a heat race. I literally couldn't go anywhere. It was as one lane as it gets, super tacky and muddy. So it was just around the top the whole time, and I couldn't really do much. But then 1 and 2, it was very weird in the feature. It was on the bottom for a while. I think it like went to the middle, kind of like a slider, and then right at the end, it was way on the top, and I was absolutely hauling. But then I stepped off. So yeah.
Well, fantastic race here tonight. Why don't you go ahead and give a shout out to friends, family, sponsors?
Yeah, I want to thank you for broadcasting this every week. Taylor, Frank, everybody over at Amex for putting this on for us and giving us a shot to race for money in these trucks. Thanks to Bickford for running the series with me, and I'm really excited for him. Super glad he was able to pick off a win, and very happy to see the podium here. Bikeman Performance, Iridium Sim Sports, Concut, Sharp Apparel, Rendezvous Bar and Grill, Polaris Razor, and anybody else I missed. Thank you.
Our runner-up, Tyler Vandenbush. Man, you had to work for that second spot. I'm telling you right now, if we work on growing you a set, you might be able to run that top. You might have been the fastest truck out there tonight.
I tried the top. Truck ain't got nothing for me up there. I don't know. I like the bottom here at Lernerville, or the middle, you should say. Yeah, this track is something else.
You were racing. You really had to play a lot of defense at the end there. It's so hard. Early on, it was a lot of follow the leader, and then all of a sudden, late in this one, it got super racy. You didn't know where people were going to come from. They could get some speed kind of anywhere. How hard is that for you to adjust? I mean, you're used to the road courses. You kind of have your line, your off-road dirt, and now here you are on the oval dirt where those lines really change up a lot. And the track can really get wide, and we've seen that here tonight.
When I first started iRacing, I did dirt oval, so I'm familiar with trying to find the line, where to run. The trucks, they're a lot different than any of the regular dirt oval stuff you see, and this track especially can be a little hard to pass. You got to work some very special lines and play a lot of defense here. And boy, did I have to with Brody. You know, I thought I'd get lucky. You know, he goes off the track. He gets spun around, but yet still ends up behind me. I'm like, I just can't get away from him. So I knew it was going to be a battle to the end, and I saw him dive low. I'm like, nope, this is not happening.
Hey,
I need
Cody.
these points.
Yeah, great run for you here tonight. Good to see you get a good podium finish here tonight. Why don't you go ahead and give a shout out to friends, family, sponsors?
First of all, MDI TV and Mr. Batcher here for streaming this. I hope we put on a good show tonight. K&K Contracting, RTL, AMX iRacing, and then of course Just a Trim Lawn Service. And Tyler, good win.
Well, Tyler, man, you were just determined to not let it be the Austin Scriber show. You followed him in the heat race. You followed him in the dash. You were just determined not to follow him in the feature, and you took that lead and kind of never really looked back. You had a couple good battles with Brody, but pretty much had the lead from then on out.
Yeah, man, it was great racing with those guys. It was fun. I had a blast, man.
I mean, you were just so consistent on the top, and you know, Brody's brought up the point that consistency was key. And I think that's more important probably at this track more than any other track, because such a fine line on that top, and that top line is so important for speed here, especially as it slickens out on the top. I mean, people just don't realize how patient and how slow you got to go through that corner on the top side. How different is it to do it here in a truck over like a late model or a sprint car or modified?
It's night and day. You know, you can change the setup, you know, in a late model or modified or whatever. But in these, I couldn't change nothing. I just had it would push like middle corner, so I just had to go with that and make sure I didn't go off the top there. I had to be real patient with the middle of the corner.
It looked, and I seen a lot of that coming out of two, as I was bringing up with Brody. If you were coming up on a two and you had to get on the gas trying to get down the straightaway, it's almost like it threw the balance of the truck off, and it would make it really wonky bouncing off that four-wheel independent suspension.
Yeah, it made it difficult for sure. You just had to be patient with the truck. You had to let it level it out and just be easy on the gas the whole time.
Well, fantastic race tonight. Good win. It was fun to watch, exciting to watch. I was rooting for you. New name out there on the top of the board. Why don't you go ahead and give a shout out to friends, family, sponsors?
I gotta thank you for the broadcast, AMX for putting it on, Brody for giving me the invite here. He hooked me up on this. Coast to Coast Sim Sports. Anybody else in the car, man?
Well, good run, and enjoy the win, and hopefully we see you next week.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
You too, bud. All right, great run out of Tyler Bickford. That is going to be the end of racing here tonight. I appreciate all you guys coming out. Make sure if you guys haven't, you hit that like, share, and follow button. Tomorrow night, we do have the ARCA cars, and Thursday is kind of going to be up in the air on whether or not we do Woot. I'll let you guys know. I do have a really cool arrangement that I'm going to be working on, and I don't know if I'm going to get out in time. I'll tell you guys more about it later. How do you get in this? Go check out AMX iRacing over on Facebook is probably the best way if you're talking about this type of racing specifically. That would be the best place to go find out more information. And other than that, guys, we're going to be done for tonight. Appreciate you coming out. Hit that like, share, and follow button as always. Until next time, be safe and have a good night.